Kahala Yahweh, Baal Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Baal Hashem, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, or GMS for short. This is where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. All right. Whom being that since we were scattered amongst all nations of the earth, we were scattered to the four corners of the earth. All right. We can look like all nations. Israelites look like all nations. Okay. So Lord willing, I am of that number. All right. Of the remnant and the elect. Okay. So we're gonna pick back up on the series that we were in the midst of. Well, one of the series that we're in the midst of. Actually, I'd say this is the series. The other one is something that we touch on every day, which is Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17. All right, this is actually what we are in the midst of learning. All right, this video is about, hold on a second. Yeah, understanding fallen from heaven and cast down from heaven. Okay, cast down, fallen from heaven. All right, we're getting some understanding on the meaning of these things. And we're going to pick up here in Obadiah. All right, 1 and 4. Okay. If you are just coming into this channel and just clicking on this video, all right, First Corinthians, let me see, is it First Corinthians 14:4? Let's look. All right, First Corinthians. Maybe it's let me see. Hold on. Maybe it's 14 and 44. Hold on a second. 40. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. All right. Let all things be done decently and in order. All right. So if you are coming into, if you're just clicking on this channel and you feel like you're lost, all right, this is the first video you clicked on because it is the most recent. All right. Look at the number of this video. So, for instance, first video may be called intro or may be called part 1. All right. So go back to intro before you go to part 1. All right. Before you go to part 3, make sure you hit part 2. Okay. Let everything be done decently and in order. Again, 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. All right. So make sure you do yourself a favor and do things in order to the best of your ability. You can't jump in the middle of something and think that you're going to get the understanding of it unless you have a very strong foundation or a strong enough foundation to do that. But if you are new, just make sure you go to the beginning videos. All right. So again, let's pick up in Obadiah 1 and verse 4. All right, this is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 4. It reads, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. All right, so each empire of Esau, Edom, going back to the Greeks, all right, was symbolized by the eagle. Even at the time of Hitler, the French, Spanish, British, and America, okay, no other bird can fly as high as the eagle. All right, only the hawk is the closest, and still there is no comparison of altitude. All right, that bird flies the highest. It hunts from the highest altitude. All right, so when this verse mentions nest among the stars, all right, you can liken that to space stations. All right, Esau exalts himself as the eagle, and his habitation is very high. All right, his pride is high, his habitation is high. This is his heaven. All right, this is his heaven as it stands right now. Okay, but things are going to change. All right, let's go to Matthew now. Matthew chapter 11. Matthew chapter 11 and verse 23. It reads, "And thou, Capernaum, all right, which art exalted unto heaven, shalt be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day." All right, so since Capernaum was flourishing and proud at the time of Yahushua went to this region, all right, they felt like they did not need to follow his word. These were Israelites that were very proud. All right, and that goes on today. All right, you are treating this word as you would have treated Yahushua back in the times that he was here. All right, vice versa. Since things are reincarnated, all right, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. Let's get that again. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun." All right, the same spirits are coming back down here. Just as the Israelites treated the Lord back then, figuring that they didn't need anything, all right, they weren't trying to hear the Lord's word. All right, that's the same thing they're doing today. All right, you may be one of those Israelites. Okay, so this is symbolic of what is coming to America. Today, America is the land of comfort. All right. We already went over what Capernaum was, all right, the village of comfort. And that is what America is likened to today. All right, given all these philosophies and soothsayings that people would rather hear instead of the truth. All right, they would trade the truth for a lie. All right, that's what people do, just because they want to be comfortable. All right. So now let's read again Matthew. Yeah. Matthew 11:23. Again. All right, again, Matthew 11 and 23. "And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shalt be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. But I say unto you, that it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee." All right, so because Capernaum rejected Yahushua, all right, the day of judgment will be more tolerable for Sodom than for Capernaum, all right, than for the city of comfort. All right. So is the Lord going to literally bring a whole city into a place that is burning? So he's going to pick up Capernaum and bring it to hell? All right. No, this just means that Capernaum will be brought to a low state. Right? The people of Capernaum that rejected the Lord and whom are reincarnated will taste of the same judgment. All right, the day of fire, or whatever judgment the Lord has for them. All right, let me get this. Let me get this verse. Psalm 68 and 20. I'm gonna read 19 and 20. Psalm 68:19. Blessed be the Lord, who daily loadeth us with benefits. All right, this knowledge, this teaching, this wisdom, this truth. All right, even the God of our salvation, Selah. Now listen to 20. He that is our God is the God of salvation, and unto God the Lord belong the issues from death. He determines how you go out and how you come in. Okay? He determines the issues of death. It belongs to him. All right? He can take you out by just giving your ass a little simple heart attack. All right? Or other means. Okay? Okay, whatever judgment he wants to give to you. All right, that's what you get. Whatever judgment he gives to you, also you deserve. All right? All his ways are righteous. All his judgments are righteous. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Hold on. All right, this is Psalm 145 and 17. The Lord is righteous in all his ways and holy in all his works. And there's another one that's coming to mind, but I don't know if I will be able to think of it. Let me see. All right, hold on. Let me look for that verse now. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is it. All right, let me see. This is Ezekiel 18 and 25. Yet ye say, The way of the Lord is not equal. It says, "Hear now, O house of Israel, is not my way equal? Are not your ways unequal?" All right, let me see. Ezekiel, same verse in the NLT, Ezekiel 18:25. "Yet you say, the Lord isn't doing what's right. Listen to me, O people of Israel. I am the one not doing, or excuse me, am I the one not doing what's right, or is it you?" All right, examine yourself, man. Examine yourself. Okay. So again, the people of Capernaum that rejected the Lord, and whom are reincarnated, will taste of the judgment day fire. All right, or whatever judgment the Lord has for them. Okay, so now let's go to Isaiah 5. And again, don't think that you can just decide to leave America because it's starting to spook you out that this is true, and that you can escape the Lord by leaving the land where the great deliverance and the great destruction is going to take place. That's not how this works, man. Regardless of where you are, you're going to get what you deserve from the Lord, man. Regardless of who you are. All right? So Isaiah 5:13. Okay? Even doing the law, statutes, and commandments does not guarantee salvation. All right? You won't hear us say that, but at the same time, the law is not done away with. How can we say both things? All right? Faith and works go hand in hand. Okay? So don't think that you can say you have faith. Just say you have faith. All right? That's not how this works. And don't think that you can just do works and be on the right side. That's not how this works. There is a even ground. All right? The Lord is equal. Okay? He's balanced. Okay? So again, Isaiah 5:13 is where we're going. Right? It reads, "Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst." This speaks of Israelites. All right, now let's read on. Verse 14. "Therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it." The Lord is not playing around. All right, never has he been playing around. All right, so hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. What does that mean? Okay, is this speaking of literal fire engulfed upon the nation of Israel? No. All right, hell is symbolic of hard times on the planet Earth. When Jonah was in the belly of the fish, all right, Scripture stated that Jonah was in hell. All right, let's go look at Jonah 1. Jonah chapter 1 and verse 17. All right. Jonah 1 and verse 17, it reads, "Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights." Okay. Chapter 2 of Jonah, it reads, "Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. All right. And then David, all right, David said this in Psalm 116. All right. Psalm 116. All right. Psalm 116, starting at verse 1. And the heading reads, Gracious is the Lord. All right. So Psalm 116, starting at 1, it says, I love the Lord, because he hath heard my voice and my supplications. Verse 2, it reads, Because he hath inclined his ear unto me, therefore will I call upon him as long as I live. In verse 3, the sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell gat hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. Okay, so we, in this time right now, are surrounded by hell. All right. I remember, just to cut in here really quick. Okay. Look, man, we have to do what we have to do to survive. All right. This place, to keep a roof over our head, clothing. Okay. We have to go to work. Okay. We also suffer sickness. All right. We still die. All right. The Lord isn't here. All right. We still get cold. We still get thirsty. We still get hungry. All right. And some of these things are used, if not all, these things are used as a weapon. All right. Making us do the things that we would not do. All right. How we had the choice. For example, again, I'll use the Sabbath day. You know, the Sabbath will come in, and guess what? A lot of us will have to work. Okay. But the Lord knows that, though. All right. He knows that. He understands this. There's nothing down here that surprises the Lord. All right. He knew how wicked this place would be right now. Okay. Let me just prove this really quick. All right. In Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28 and 48, which we've been mentioning a lot. All right, so Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48. I'll start at 47. All right, nothing down here surprises the Lord. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 47. His word actually framed everything. It framed all this. I think there's a verse on that too. We'll look at it. We'll look for it after this. Deuteronomy 28 and 47, it says, Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. All right? No surprises from the Lord, man. Okay? He told us this will happen. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. All right? Okay, so that yoke of iron, okay, it's a physical thing, but now it's even more so in the spirit. Okay? There's many strongholds around you Israelites' necks, minds, all right, around your heart, which goes back to the word lob in Hebrew, which means your mind. Okay, speaking of the word, okay, the Lord framing all of this. Okay, Let me go to Hebrews 11. Okay, I'm going to start at verse 1. The triumphs of faith is the heading. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. All right, so we have faith that the Lord has done all of this, and we see where it's going. That's why we are not afraid. This is why we have comfort in what's coming, even though what's coming is not going to be easy to get through. Our faith is what gets us through this, through the spirit and power of Yahweh and Yahushua. And also faith is a gift, man. This is a gift. Hebrews 11:3, to finish off the point, it says, through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen are not made of the things which do appear. All right, so we understand that all these things going through hell, all right, are things that the Lord knew. You know, he set all of this in motion. Okay, even the things that we perceive to be out of order are actually in order with the word of the Lord. All right, they are all the ones that go against. All right, are examples for us. Remember, the things written aforetime were written for our learning. Okay, so somebody may think that they're out of order. They may think that they're purposely going against the Lord, but the Lord did that to you. The Lord makes you think that you can go out of order, makes you keep walking in that path. All right, the boulevard of broke dreams. And Esau is that main one that's going to get his heart broke, man. Well, it's been broke from the beginning, but he really thinks he's going to accomplish this. All right. He's like that one character in a comic book who knows that he's a comic and thinks that he can do something about it. He can't do anything about it, man. All right, I think they give that I think they say the Joker is the smartest comic book character because he knows he's a character. Okay. All right. Esau then forgot that. He forgot that the Lord made him and gave him this power. All right. And he's going to get taken out, man. You cannot escape this, Esau. No one can escape this. Not us, not Esau, not the other nations. This is how things are going. This is the condition of the battle. Even this last page, all right? Condition of the battle. All these pages are how these things are going to go. All right, the little intricate details we may miss, may be a miss for some of us, but we point out the possibilities of how this man is going to push forward his agenda. That doesn't mean it's going to be to the exactly to how we say. All right, we give you all the possibilities, but we can tell you for a fact that it's going in the way that the Lord told you it was going to go. All right, so regardless of how they push, for example, regardless of how they push this MOTB, whether it be through this name, that company, this company, all right, we know exactly what it is, and we know exactly that it is coming. The Lord's word is not going to fail, nor lie. Okay, so it's best you take heed. And I was going to use this as a title to another lesson, and Lord willing, I still will use it even after stating it here. But it's about time, all right? You start paying attention to the word of the Lord, all right, so that you can see through the noise, all right, so that you get the news. Okay, see through the noise and recognize the news. All right. So again, we in this time right now are surrounded by hell. This has nothing to do with fire, but to do with being cast off from heaven unto earth. All right, being, especially knowing now. Look, we were labeled the sons of God, man, and we are starting. to stand back on our feet and to stand in that position. All right, not perfectly until the Lord comes back, and plus we don't know whom are chosen, but we are starting to come back and walk in the ways that we should have been walking in the first place. We're getting this is a foretaste of what it's going to be like. All right, we are rehearsing the righteous acts. And in doing so, we are being persecuted by the world. And what I mean by the world is an oikoumene, including some of you including you two-third Israelites. All right, and you other nations. Okay, this is a foretaste, but when we get there, there's going to be no hell, no tears, no crying, no sorrow, no sickness, no clocking in. That brought me back to that point I was trying to make earlier. There's some people who say, I've heard from even people that, I share a job with, that this is a kingdom. I had to pull the cartoons on them like, what? We just clocked in. We gonna be clocking in the kingdom? We still gonna be getting sick? We still gonna have relatives dying every place? We still gonna have relatives getting murdered every place? All right, we still don't have a home. We still don't have the Lord actually here with us. The language, and you think we in the kingdom? It does not make any sense. That goes back to that chain, or what was that? Let me get Deuteronomy 28:48. All right, that goes back to this right here, man. Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. What else is on your neck? Your head, man. That statement shows how much of a yoke of iron you got on your noggin. Your mind, man. Talking about we in the kingdom. We still clocking in. Getting paid not even crumbs, man. I still can't do the Sabbath. You think the Lord gonna have it to where we can't do the Sabbath in the kingdom? I can't even do the Sabbath right, man. All right. We still gotta see wickedness from our people all over the place. We in the kingdom. The kingdom is not just a state of mind, man. It's going to actually physically be here on earth. But you can't see through that yoke of iron that's on your mind, man. All right. So anyway, let me see. My bad. Psalm 116. All right. Let me read this again. Psalm 116. All right, 1 through 3. It says, I love the Lord because he hath heard my voice and my supplications. Because he hath inclined his ear unto me, therefore will I call upon him as long as I live. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell got hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. Okay, so again, we in this time right now are surrounded by hell. This has nothing to do with fire, but to do with being cast off from heaven unto earth. So now we can see what this verse speaks of. All right, Isaiah 5:14. Let me go ahead and read that again. All right, it reads, let me see. I'm in the wrong spot. Hold on. I almost read the wrong thing. I gotta calm down, man. Calm down. Isaiah 5:14. Let me see. It reads, therefore hell hath enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. All right. So, let's see. All right, yeah, we're gonna cut this video right there. All right. Lord willing, we will pick back up on this in the next upcoming videos. All right. But until then, all right. So, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kwadash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, or GMS for short. All right, this is where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. All right, Lord willing, I'll endure until the end. All right, but this is where I am learning this truth and have learned this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Okay, which Israel looks like, all right, is coming in the form of all nations. I don't mean that we are all nations. What I'm saying is that all nations have Israelites amongst them, because we were scattered into all nations. It's not a hard thing to comprehend, all right? At least I can't really say that. At least it's not for whom the Lord gave this understanding to, all right? So, Lord willing, I'm of that number of the elect. And Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. All right. Shalom.